HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast, Episode 40, Rutgers Postgame.
Hoops on Lane Fan Podcast is sponsored by About Face Cosmetic Therapy Center because basketball season is also laser hair removal season.
You're listening to Hoops on Lane, a fan-produced pregame and postgame podcast about the Ohio State University men's basketball team. Visit hoopsonlane.com or subscribe where you listen to podcasts for all the latest episodes and information. Now here's your host, Dave Horning.
Greetings, Hoops fans. This is Dave Horning for HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast, with a review of the Ohio State Buckeyes' victory over the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, the Buckeyes winning by the score of 68-46 in a game played at Rutgers on Sunday night. This was a solid win for the Buckeyes, but it was not a pretty win. The Buckeyes had an off night on offense, but more than made up for that with solid play on defense. It was great to see Ohio State win without hitting on all cylinders, like watching Tiger Woods in his prime, able to win a golf tournament without his best game. The Buckeyes were solid on defense the entire game, playing a strong switching man-to-man defense. Rutgers hit only 7 of its first 40 shots, and over the entire game they were 17 of 59 for 29% shooting. Their only threat was number 0, Geo Baker, who hit 4 of 8 3-point shots, and sparked a brief rally with 13 minutes left when Rutgers was trailing by 30 points, 48-18. That rally produced a 12-0 run by Rutgers that closed the lead to 18. But the Buckeyes broke that run on a nice layup basket by center Caleb Wesson on a great pass and assist by C.J. Jackson. Great teamwork. That's how you end a drought. And that, in a nutshell, was the difference in the game. Ohio State worked together as a team on the offensive end, running a patterned offense, finding the open man, and looking for great shots. C.J. Jackson had 6 assists, including one with 3 minutes left in the first half on a beautiful pass to Kyle Young underneath, who scored on a layup. Altogether, Ohio State had 14 assists, compared to just 6 for the entire Rutgers team for the entire game. The Buckeyes' defense reduced Rutgers to a series of individual efforts, like an NBA offense or a middle school game at recess. And the Buckeyes rebounded well, getting 46 to Rutgers' 30, and holding Rutgers to just 9 offensive rebounds, while the Buckeyes gathered 11. Caleb Wesson and Keita Bates-Diop gathered 9 rebounds each, and C.J. Jackson had 7. Keita Bates-Diop was also excellent in blocking 5 shots. Like I said, it was the defense that won this game for the Buckeyes, the basketball equivalent of trestle ball. The Buckeyes have in the past shown excellent shooting at home and on the road, for example at Wisconsin. This was an off night for the Buckeyes shooting, making only 7 of 21 3-point shots and only 20 of 37 2-point shots. It was a combination of uncharacteristically selfish shots and bad decisions, and the commission of 11 turnovers by the Buckeyes to just 5 by Rutgers. It was an off night for Keita Bates-Diop, who was only 2 of 7 on his 3-point attempts. His 2 3-point shots came in the first half and opened up a 10-point lead for the Buckeyes. He was 6 of 12 on his 2-point shots. On this off night, he still scored 20 points and led all scorers, and he never stopped shooting. That shows Keita's talent. An off night, and he still scores 20. Caleb Wesson was solid on offense. As part of the team-oriented strategy, the Buckeyes looked to pass the ball into him down low, and he was able to score and get Rutgers starting center Mamadou Ducour in foul trouble. Coach Holtman kept Caleb on the bench for long stretches to keep him out of foul trouble, and it worked. When he was in the game, he dominated. He finished the game with just 2 fouls. Credit goes to Micah Potter, Kyle Young, and Andre Wesson for maintaining solid play when Caleb was on the bench. Cam Williams was also solid, taking just 5 shots and making 4 of them, including 2 of 3 3-point shots. He made an excellent 4-point play with 13 minutes left that built Ohio State's lead to 30, 48-18. It was an excellent assist by Andre Wesson, who had the ball down low, but unselfishly passed the ball back outside to a wide-open Cam Williams, who was then fouled and made the free throw. This was an example of the unselfish play of the Buckeyes on offense that Rutgers could not match. Final score, Ohio State 68, Rutgers 46. Ohio State moves to a Big Ten Conference record of 6 wins and no losses, tied with Purdue for first place. Coming up next for the Buckeyes, an away game at Northwestern on Wednesday, January 17th at 9 p.m. Columbus time. The game will also be televised on the Big Ten Network and on radio at the Fan 97.1 FM. This is Dave Horning for HoopsOnLane.com Fan Podcast. Go Bucks!